Welcome once again to another of my tutorial. This note I want to take you on or show you on how to get your turtleneck. So that is what I want to show you right now. So what you are going to do first is to get your numbers for your neck. How to get your numbers for your neck, that is your neck circumference, before we apply it on our pattern. So let me go ahead to briefly let me look for something to let's do the calculation together. You need to do now is to get your neck circumference measurement. As you can see now, my pattern which I'm using, but which is my paper gum, or you can use color gum for this. So what I want to use, I want to use cloth gum. I'll use this paper gum to cut out my cloth gum. I'm just using this as a pattern. So what you need to do, your neck circumference of your neck measurement, you divide it by 2, because since it is unfold, you are going to divide it by 2. So what you will do now is to get your front part of your neck from this shoulder, from your shoulder to your front part. That's what you are going to get, because what you have here is the same thing you're supposed to have at this other part also. So I'm going to take this measurement from this end here now, from this end here to this part. So what I have here now is 4.7 for the front. So I will indicate this as front 4.7 for my front. And then over to the back, my back measurements, let me take my full back measurements. So from this other shoulder to this other shoulder, that is what I want to take now. Take from this shoulder down to this other shoulder. What I have here now is I have 6.7 here. 6.7 divided by 2 will give me 6.3. So I have 3.3 here. So what I'm going to do next now is to place my 3.3 at this front here. So here is the back. This is our mark that is unfold. Here is for the back. So this is my 6.3 here. Then come over to place your front 4.7. So 4.7, that is what I have here. This is for the front. So for this, before you go to do, you make sure here is equal. Make sure your lines are straight for this. So I have my mark at 3.3 and I have my front mark at 4.7 for the front. So what you are going to do next is to go up by 1 inch for your front. Go up by 1 inch. After you're done going up by 1 inch, what you need to do now is to connect your 1 inch down to your neck, to your center or your midpoint between the back and the front. This mark that indicates your back and front, you're going to connect from this point now down to this point here. So after you are done doing that, you are going to locate your 4.7 again. So here now I have my 4.7 here. So after you are done doing that, indicating your mark, you're going to look on how many you want your collar to be. From mine, I want it to be 1.5. So that is 1.5, which I am going to mark from here down upward. So my 1.5, that's what I'm going to take here. Just like this, 1.5. Like this. Then at this note, this other part here now, I'm going to take it straight. Like this. After I'm done doing that, what I will do now is to come in by 1 inch. So you can see my 1 inch from this point now. I have my 1 inch here, and I have my markings of 1.5 all this way. So what I'm going to do now is to connect them together. If you have your French curve, you can go ahead to use your French curve to connect your lines together. So I'm using my free hand to connect my own curves together. Then at this point now, what I'm going to do at this point now is to connect your curve like this. Let's give it a curve like this. hope you can see what I'm doing. Just like this, give your curve like this. So this is what I have now. So it is very easy. Now color is out. What I'm going to do now is to cut it out. This is sewing allowance is not included in this pattern. I'm going to keep my sewing allowance at my fabric. On my fabric, I'm going to keep my sewing allowance. So go ahead to cut out like this. So this is my pattern. I told you I want to use cloth gum for this. So I will go ahead to cut out my cloth gum using this pattern. So let me go ahead to do that. I've gone ahead to cut out my cloth gum using my pattern. So you can see I've gone ahead to trace it out. So what I will do now is to place my color on my fabric, then gum. So let me do just that. So I've gone ahead to iron it on the fabric. So what I did next was to take 1 inch from this point to this point, at this under part. I have 1 inch here, and this from my side here to the up like this, I have half inch for my sewing allowance. And for this down part, I have 1 inch for my sewing allowance. So what I'm going to do now is to cut it out. I have done just that. I have cut it out. So what you are going to do next is to iron this part. This is your down part. Iron it like, make sure everything is relaxing on this down part like this. Make sure everything is lapping or relaxing like this. Hope you can see how I'm doing it. Make sure it laps it. Make sure it is at exactly that point which your pattern stops. But this is your main neck pattern which I'm doing now. My main neck pattern, the main pattern for my neck. That's what I'm doing now. Trying to make sure it's at exactly this line which I have here. That's what I'm doing now. So before we continue, what I'm going to do now is to sew here. Sew half inch from this down to this up. Sew half inch downward to this part. Then let me go and do that before coming to show you on what to do next. I have gone ahead to sew that as I told you. So you can see I've gone ahead to sew it down. So what you need to do now is you need your the other fabric for your collar. So what you are going to do now, you are going to cut from this up part exactly the same shape. Then at this down part, you are still going to include your 1 inch for your allowance, your sewing allowance. So let me go ahead to cut it out and come back to you. So at this note, I have done just that. You can see my allowance for the down part. You can see I have cut it just like this. So what I'm going to do next is to fold here like this and iron. This is an easier way to fix your turtleneck. I want to show you now. So we're going to iron it just like this. Going to iron it like this. Hope you see what I did. I fold it like this to iron. So what you are going to do next now is to sew it together with your front. You're going to sew it. Make sure you are sewing from this end here. You're going to sew it like this. And make sure you are following these lines. Follow it down to this end. After you have done that, then you turn over and iron. So let me go ahead to do that. So after turning it in, I now press it and keep a little space for my sewing. So you can see there's a little space here for my sewing. That's what I kept there. So what I'm going to do is to place it like this. Before sewing, I will cut this out. I'm going to place it like this. Place it like this and sew. Make sure you are not sewing more than ½ inch or 0.4 or 0.3 inches. Sorry. So let's go ahead to place it like this and sew. This should face outside while this other part should be inside. Just like this. Place it like this and sew. So let me go ahead. Let me see if I will show you guys how to do this. Done with that, cut it out. You can see I've cut out the extension for the zip. So what I'm doing now is to place it like this, as I told you. Place it in like this. This will be very, very easy for you to sew if you follow the procedures on how to get your collar. You can also use this for your main block, for your main collar. This is a turtleneck. You can make for your main block by using this exact formula which I'm using now. So just like this. So this is how we are going to do it till the end. So let me go ahead to do it to the end and come back to show you. Okay, so just like that, as I show you how to stitch down to this part, I have also gone ahead to iron it. So look in under here, you can see how it looks. It's mashed upon on top of the under one. It's mashed on top of this one under. So you can see how it looks, very nice and neat and very easy to make. So this is it. In case you are not clear, in case you are not convinced on how to do this, or you are not clear, please comment down below. I will still come back again to do on paper illustration, but that will be without fixing it on your blouse, just for the pattern without fixing it. So I want to say thank you once again. Subscribe in case you are new to the channel, to support me, to grow with me. Thank you once again, and as always, remain blessed. I love you all.